Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque, and welcome to a reboot of Vampyre Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. Some of you guys might be getting whiplash, because we already have 4 episodes of Vampyre Clan, so why do we have a new one? Well guys, I wasn't really happy with the first 4 videos that I did, so I've made the decision to take them down and to create a new clan, hopefully with a cast of characters that we can all enjoy. Now to make things easier for us, because a bunch of us viewers are already familiar with the way the game is supposed to run, I am going to be explaining things as we go so that it's not too explanation and introduction heavy. And before we create a clan, I also want to mention that I'm playing with the fantasy rule set for ClanGen, which is basically how I set up my game. I have a link to the Google document in the video description below that explains it in detail if you guys are curious. It's a good resource if you're wondering why I do things the way I do. And if you prefer a video explanation, I highly recommend checking out episode 1 of Royal Clan because I go through all that information in the introduction. Basically, if you have any questions about my particular playstyle, the first place to check would be the Google document with the rule set. You should find your answer there, and if you still can't, then feel free to comment down below and I'll try my best to answer. Okay, now that we've got housekeeping out of the way, let's get a move on. Okay, we are going to be playing our clan in expanded mode, of course, because that is the fun mode to play in. And I do have a story that we are going to start off with. And I know a bunch of you have probably already heard the story, so in that case, feel free to skip ahead to the section where we actually start picking our cats and creating our clan. This is for anyone new who's come in and they need to immerse themselves into this world. So let me go ahead, guys, and set the scene before we officially name our clan. Long ago lived a coven of witches in a forgotten village. They hid from the powerful and the pious, devout folk who painted the witches as demons and resolved to kill them. After many moons of a solitary existence, they were found by a boy who fell in love with one of their girls. But he betrayed the girl, leading his townsfolk to hunt the witches down. In their desperation, the witches resorted to blood magic, spilling themselves across the stones of their village to set up a protective ward. But before the barrier could be complete, they were brutally murdered. Their beautiful village crumbled, falling into ruin. And then came the cats, hungry little things, lapping at the pools of cursed blood. The blood changed them, twisted them into creatures of keen hearing and keen sight, and an insatiable thirst for more. The cats scattered, afraid of themselves and their terrifying urges. Alone, they turned savage, attacking unsuspecting queens and their litters for precious beads of blood. Then rose the hunters, cats dedicated to exterminating these abominations, these vampires. As the hunter clans grew, the vampires realized they were outnumbered. Slowly, a call went out among their kind, urging them to gather at the ruins where it all began, where they could hide and gain strength, growing their numbers without fear. And so begins Vampyre Clan. So that is the backstory for our cats. And I need to officially name us. So we are Vampyre Clan, slightly different spelling because the other spelling is taken. But now that we have gotten that out of the way, shall we continue to see who our clan of cats are going to be? Okay, I am very excited to meet a new cast of characters because our old cast, they were mainly grey cats, which kind of blended in with the ruins, blended in with the ruins during the summertime, and I think, is that Greenleaf? Yeah, during Greenleaf and during New Leaf. So I'm kind of intrigued to see what collection of cats we're going to get this time around. Also, don't get too attached to the cats we pick right now as leader, deputy, and medicine cats. We're going to reassign them completely when we get to camp, and I have completely different terminology that I use for each of those roles, which I will put down in the description so you guys can get regular reminders, like in every episode, of what names we use for the different roles within our Vampyre Clan series. So I'm going to roll the dice 3 times, and I'm curious to see what we are going to get. So rolling once, rolling twice, and rolling thrice. Wow, these cats are a lot brighter than the ones we had in our last lineup. They look cool though. Okay, let's take a look at the cats. So we have Twig Arch, a female young adult who is charismatic and a great storyteller. We have Apricot Shell, a female senior adult who is cold and a great climber. We have Fidget Stripe, a male adult who is lonesome and clever. We have Elm Kit, a male kitten who is noisy and quick-witted. We have Quick Kit, who is a male kitten, quiet with an active imagination. We have Cotton Feather, who is a male senior that is lonesome and a great kid sitter. Are these scars on him, or is that his patterning? Because I'm not sure. It looks really cool though. It's like he's a white cat that had like berry juice splattered on him or something. It looks fascinating. We have Twilight Bush, a male adult who is grumpy, an unusually strong fighter, and a great hunter. We have Lichen Chase, a female adult who is shameless, a skilled mediator, and has valuable insight. She looks really cool too. We have Volshine, a male senior who is troublesome, has helpful insight and steady paws. We have Quiet Paw, a female adolescent who is charismatic and constantly climbing. We have Light Kit, a female kitten who is an attention seeker with an active imagination. And we have Hazel Shiver, a male adult who is adventurous, a great storyteller with natural intuition. These cats look so pretty and very colorful. You know, the funny thing is, I think within the Ruins camp or map, I like the Leaffall season the best. Leaffall and Snowleaf, what am I saying? Leaffall and Leaf Bear, there we go. My brain just like stalled for a second. Leaffall and Leaf Bear I really like, and these cats right now, they look so much like they belong in Leaffall, don't they? They do. But okay, I am going to have a little bit of a think about which cats I want to take with me, and then we're going to come back and complete our selections. Okay guys, I'm ready to begin my cat selection. Now something I forgot to mention, but the idea with these 10 cats is that out of all the vampiric cats, you know, who drank the witch's blood and who escaped the ruins initially, a bunch of them, or a lot of them, were hunted down by the vampire hunters. And only 10 of those cats managed to stay alive and make it back to the ruins to then create Vampyre Clan, and these are the cats that are going to establish our 10 founding bloodlines. But all the other cats who left the ruins, who drank the blood and escaped and started to change, they were kind of tracked down, hunted, and killed, and now only 10 remain. So I'm kind of excited to get going. And I was thinking about it with Cotton Feather, you know, the cat that looks like it's got berry juice splattered on it. I'm wondering if those stains on him are actually from maybe the witch's blood that he drank, but because he was a light-colored cat, the blood, it kind of permanently stained his coat, the witch's blood, the cursed blood, and that's why he has his very interesting markings. But that'd be interesting. Either that, or you know, he was one of the first cats who maybe drank from the very warm witch's blood when it was spilled, you know. It's kind of creepy. Maybe I should also let you guys know at this point that it is a slightly dark, maybe very dark and disturbing clan that we are playing. So if you get queasy by mention of blood, if you get queasy by the idea of these cats possibly hunting down outsider kittens and drinking their blood, also drinking the blood of their mothers, then you know, maybe this isn't the clan for you. You should probably go watch a happier series like Royal Clan or Luminous Clan. But for those of us who like dark things and are ready to keep going, let's take a look at the cats that we are taking with us. So we have Volshine over here, who's going to come with us. We also have, of course, Cotton Feather. How can I forget Cotton Feather with his beautiful, beautiful coat? Then we have Apricot Shell over here. Then we are taking Hazel Shiver down here. We have Lichen Chase, another cat with a very, very interesting coat that we cannot leave behind, possibly. We have Twilight Bush that we are taking with us as well. And then we are taking, let's see, Fidget Stripe, another cat with a brilliant coat. Very bright, very nice. We have Twig Arch that we are taking with us. Quiet Paw. And then, out of the 3 kittens that we have, I can't possibly pass up Light Kit. I mean, look at how pretty and interesting her coat is. Like, I need her. I have to take her. So we are recruiting her. Let's go ahead. Pick, let's see, the Ruins, which is where we're going to play. So this is the Ruins in New Leaf, Green Leaf, Leaf Fall, and Leaf Bare. My favorite seasons, of course, for the Ruins is going to be Leaf Fall and Leaf Bare, but this time around we are starting in New Leaf. Previously, I accidentally started in Leaf Fall because I didn't realize that whichever season you click over here is the season you start off with. I don't know why I thought that this is just giving me a preview and then we're always going to start in New Leaf. So it was a surprise. But this time around, we are starting in New Leaf. So let's go ahead, guys. And, last time, the other thing, when I was like scrolling through to find the perfect symbol for Vampyre Clan, I don't know how the heck I missed a bat. It's like literally right here on the first page. And I only noticed it like in hindsight. And then we have blood. We also have blood. Like, what is wrong with me? I didn't even notice these 2 things. We literally have blood and a symbol for bat. And I was busy looking for claws and complaining about how I couldn't find anything that worked. Silly me being a silly goose. But okay, I think we'll go with the vampire, like with the bat. Yes, we could go with the blood, but I feel like blood is also applicable to other things. Bat is very specific. We're gonna stick with the bat. And there we go, guys. Okay, we are over here. We're in camp. How exciting, how exciting. And these cats definitely stand out. But I need to go ahead. I need to set up the role assignments properly for all the cats. And also, I'm going to make some name changes so that I have the kind of names that I like. And then we'll come back and I suppose get started. Let us begin in the Leader's Den with Shivering Star, who is going to be known as our Grand Master. This is what the leader of the vampires is called, and I thought this would be a good place for us to start, one by introducing the leader, but also a very quick overview of how we work with this particular screen. So because this is a vampire clan, I am not going to be rolling the dice because Wind Clan, Gossamer Clan, and Day Clan that we are looking at right now, these are the hunting clans in our story, within our story. So they are the vampire hunters that are after our vampires, who we have to protect, and obviously we wouldn't want to meet them. So normally I would roll the dice to see which clan we interact with and whether we provoke or befriend them, but like I said, I don't see why the vampires would want to come into contact with the vampire hunters, because the hunters surely are going to kill them. So we're not going to be using the provoke or befriend button. However, I will try to jump in here every episode just to see our status with the clans. So when our status with them is neutral, basically the vampire hunters won't bother us if we don't bother them. If we are hostile with them, it means they're actively trying to hunt us down and kill us one by one, which would be terrifying. And if we are allied with them, it means that our vampiric cats here are basically giving drops of their blood, their vampiric blood that has some supernatural qualities, to the hunting clans as a bribe to kind of stay out of their business. And the hunting clans use these bits of vampire blood to create their own elixirs and potions, which give them temporary advantages on the field, like the keen sight and the keen hearing, right? Gives them supernatural senses from these vampires. So that's what we have for the hunting clans, and obviously right now, because all 3 of them are neutral with us, we don't have to worry about anyone chasing us, but I don't know how long this is going to last. given that our Grandmaster is a troublesome cat. And that leads us to the Warrior's Den, because we have to decide a clan focus for the vampires under our troublesome Grandmaster. And typically the way that I like to do this is I only change clan focus when a new leader comes into power. So we are going to be sticking with this for the entirety of Grandmaster Shivering Star's reign. And I try to make my selections within their personalities. Now, because he's a troublesome cat, even though ideally I would love to be integrating with outsiders so that we have potentially, fresh blood for the future, but for now, I think he would be more focused on sabotaging the Hunter clans. Because yes, he knows the Hunter clans are dangerous, and he knows that they have some sense of security within these ruins. There's still an element of, thrill that Shivering Star gets from taunting the hunters. So he wants to sabotage them. And I'm very, very stressed about this situation, but that is exactly what we are going to be doing. All three of them, Wind Clan, Gosma Clan, and Day Clan. Let's hope he doesn't kill all the vampires. But that is what he has decided. Next up, we have the cat list, where we will check out our cats and their genetics in a bit more detail and obviously get acquainted with their roles and names. So we have Shivering Star over here, who is, like I said, our Grand Master. So he has yellow eyes, a single color pelt. He is troublesome, we know, helpful insight and steady paws. This is just a reminder for us, but a very cool looking cat, and I feel like a very vampiric looking cat. Then we have Cotton Shade, who has pale yellow eyes and a tabby pelt. He is lonesome and a great kid sitter, and he has the position of Master, which is in a lot of ways an assistant to the Grand Master. So we'll refer to him as Master Cotton Shade. Then we have Honey Bloom, who has amber eyes and a calico pelt. I feel like it's been ages since I've come across a calico pelt, but she looks very pretty. Who is cold and a great climber. Now, she is what we call a Nightstalker. She is the cat who goes out into the night to gather all of the herbs and resources needed to keep the vampires alive. Then we have a Burnleaf, who has green eyes and a single striped pelt. He is lonesome and clever. Now, Burnleaf is what we call a Whisper. So the Whispers, their role is to take the cats down into the ruins where a lot of dark energy resides from the witch's blood that was spilled, and to whisper things to the cats that are matched up within the clan to encourage them to like each other more and to have litters. It's a little bit creepy, but this is what the Whisper does. That is literally their one purpose within the clan, is to whisper things to encourage more litters and the growth of vampires. Then we have our Mistwalkers. This is how we refer to our warriors. They're called Mistwalkers. So we have Hazel Pelt over here, who has a green yellow eyes and an agouti pelt. He's adventurous, a great storyteller with a natural intuition. We have Twilight Fade, another one of our Mistwalkers, who apparently is the mentor to Quiet Paw. Okay, he's got gold eyes, a smoke pelt. He is grumpy, an unusually strong fighter and great hunter. Apart from the fact that he's grumpy, he seems like a really good cat to be a mentor. So that is actually really cool. Then we have Pumpkin Tail. Pumpkin Tail has sage eyes, a tortie pelt. Torties are very popular, very, very popular with a lot of the viewers, I feel. I personally lean more towards the single stripe pelt. I don't know what it is about that, but I tend to like a lot of the cats with a single stripe. But the tortie is really cool over here with Pumpkin Tail. She's another one of our Mistwalkers. She's shameless, a skilled mediator, and has valuable insight. Then we have Blue Jay. Blue Jay, named as such because of her eyes, but she has cobalt eyes and a goody pelt. She's charismatic, a great storyteller. Then we have what we call our Fledgling. So the apprentices are referred to as fledglings. So she has hazel eyes and a speckled pelt. She's charismatic and constantly climbing. I kind of love the pairing of a charismatic fledgling with a very grumpy mentor, like a grumpy Mistwalker, because I imagine like he is not the type of cat who likes to talk so much. He kind of just shows her how to do things, but she's always chatting. Actually, this is very funny because she's called Quiet Paw. Maybe she was quiet as a kitten, but as a fledgling, she's always chatting, always talking, and I love that, like talking his ear off. So that's what we have for her. Now with the apprentices or the fledglings, I like to do rankings for them, and when they are on the 11th moon, which for her I suppose is going to be the next moon, whoever has the highest ranking among the fledglings, they get the title of prince or princess when they become Mistwalkers. So for Quiet Paw, because she doesn't have any rivals, she doesn't have any other apprentices her age, she is definitely going to be the quiet princess when she ages up into a Mistwalker, into a young adult. And the same is going to happen for Light Kit. When Light Kit becomes a young adult, because she doesn't have any other rivals her age, she is going to get the title of the Light Princess. Now, typically, I like stagger the litters that I have, and so we only have fledglings within a litter that are the same age, because we only have one litter at a time. And so when we have two or more kittens in a litter, it's more fun that way, because when they become fledglings, we have rivalries and such, and then we get to do rankings, every moon and see who's on top, who's at the bottom, and then on the 11th moon, we kind of officially decide who becomes the prince or princess. And that is supposed to mark them as an elite among vampires. And then we have Light Kit, who has pale yellow eyes, a tawny pelt, another tawny. We have a ton of tawnies. Or is that just two? I don't know, but we've got some tawnies. And is an attention seeker with an active imagination, which is so adorable, just so pretty. Also, guys, I think breeding this time around for, the growth of the clan is going to be easier because we have kind of the perfect distribution of males and females. We have 5 males and 5 females. In Royal Clan, I think I had 3 females and 7 males, and by the time I finished season 1, we kind of reached a stage where we don't have any females left. We don't have any females within the clan and outside the clan, so that was a little bit, it's a bit stressful because I don't know how we're going to get out of that situation. But I feel good knowing that we are starting off with a better chance in terms of the pairings we can make. However, Shivering Star is troublesome, so I honestly don't know whether or not we're going to be able to continue in an Age of Peace. I feel like Shivering Star is going to turn all the hunting clans hostile, and they're going to start killing us off one by one, and then it won't matter how many males and females we have. It's a situation. It is definitely a situation. But okay. The other thing that I want to establish while we are with these cats is that the outside group over here is going to be known as Initiate Clan. So basically all the outsiders we find in patrols, they are going to be, exiled, but not exiled. They're going to be sent to Initiate Clan, and this is going to be the cats who are not vampiric, but for some reason they revere the vampires. They want to become like the vampires, so they kind of hang around outside the ruins in hopes that the vampires will one day choose them, single them out, and bring them within their fold. So that is where the outsiders will be going, because I like to breed within the clan until we can't breed anymore, and then we start bringing in outsiders one by one to make our matches. There's that. And the only thing for patrols, yes, all outsiders will become initiates, except for when we find queens and kits, because part of the dark story these vampires have is that for them, the ideal blood for them to drink, to slake the thirst they constantly have from this, witch's curse, is going to be the blood of kits, like non-vampiric kits and non-vampiric queens. So anytime we find them, they get brought into the clan. They will be offered up essentially to the Grand Master and killed by the Grand Master. And the vampires believe that the kittens and the queens that they consume go to the dark forest and they continue to fuel the vampires and be a source of sustenance in the afterlife. Very dark, but that is kind of the way that this clan likes to do things. Okay, I've gone ahead and done our loyalties, and the way I do loyalties is that I go into the relationships of the cats, and if the leader, or in this case the Grand Master, is one of the first 4 cats on this list, then I consider that cat to be loyal to the Grand Master. Obviously on Shivering Star we can't see it over here because we're talking about him, but we do it for every other member of the clan aside from the Grand Master. Also, the top 4 roles over here, Grand Master, Master, Nightstalker, and Whisper, they are what we are going to refer to as the inner circle, and we have a promotion system. So as cats get older, the Mistwalkers, they enter the inner circle by becoming a Whisper, then they get promoted to a Nightstalker, then they get promoted to a Master. From there they will either retire, or if they're lucky they will become the Grand Master themselves. And the only time we will have like promotions is obviously if someone retires or if there is a death that impacts the inner circle. So someone in the inner circle dies, then obviously we need to have promotions. Okay, so let's take a look at the loyalties for our cats. And my oh my, Shivering Star, even though he's troublesome, is starting off on a much better foot than the clan leader did in my last clan, because only 2 of the cats are anti-loyalists. Every other cat really likes him as a leader. Shivering Star, I think despite the fact that he is taunting the Vampyre Clan, or not the Vampyre Clans, the Hunter Clans, I think these vampires are just so sick of the Hunters at this point and so mad at the Hunters for, killing a lot of their number, that they are standing behind Shivering Star, and they like the guts that Shivering Star has to, one, maintain the ruins, but also to keep prodding and sabotaging the Hunters, so that hopefully these vampires, these cats, they can live a more secure life, right? So that's something that they are very happy to get behind, which Shivering Star represents. Pumpkin Tail, who is a little bit of a shameless cat, I think she's not too keen on that idea. She doesn't think that poking the hornet's nest, so to speak, is going to help them in any way, and she doesn't care about expressing herself. Like, she doesn't mind being the odd one out. She's gonna say what she believes. And then Light Kid. Light Kid was a bit of an attention seeker, and I think Light Kid maybe doesn't have so much of a grasp as to the situation just yet. I mean, she's very, very young, but maybe she's getting a bit influenced by Pumpkin Tail right now. So, I mean, she sees another Tortie. They're both Torties, I think. She sees another Tortie and she's following in her footsteps, which is really cute. Now, that aside, I normally don't check the relationships between cats in, like, Moon Zero, but I was looking through them to see if anything stood out to me, and no one's obviously going to be friends yet because they haven't interacted much, but we already have a romance. And it's actually from Pumpkin Tail. Pumpkin Tail continues. Pumpkin Tail, guys, look at that, has 2.5 bars for Twilight Fade. I thought that was so funny and so cute because Twilight Fade, we know, is our grumpy mentor to Quiet Paw. He already has Quiet Paw chatting constantly in his ear, and it seems as though, even though Twilight Fade is not the type of cat who likes chatting up other cats, Pumpkin Tail is shameless, so she doesn't care, but she is going to keep throwing herself at him, following him around, because she, for whatever reason, just finds Twilight Fade like so appealing. She adores him. So he's like the perfect dark hero in whatever novel she's creating in her head. So I think whenever she sees Twilight Fade, she can't help but have, like, her heart start racing and her paws start sweating, but she doesn't care. She's gonna, like, hang around him, bumble around him, keep chatting to him, and I imagine, like, she keeps following him around in circles and yapping his ear off, and he doesn't respond, and then as soon as he, like, huffs, she gets so excited that she goes into a whole other conversation because she thinks he responded to her. But I really love this. This is just so cute. And already, like Pumpkin Tail, Twilight Fade, they are becoming quite the characters in my mind, and I actually love that. So okay, now that we have addressed the, one romance and the loyalties, let's go ahead and see what the cats are doing for the day. Shivering Star, Grandmaster Shivering Star, is padding back and forth across camp. Obviously they've just come in, they've just formed Vampyre Clan, or they've, reunited, and he is trying to get everything in order, and he's taking a look at what all the other cats are up to, making plans for how they're going to sabotage the hunters. Cotton Shade can't find Twilight Fade anywhere, probably because Twilight Fade is probably trying to avoid everyone. Honey Bloom can't keep up with, I think this was Burnleaf. Okay. Burnleaf tries to set a good example for younger cats. Hazel Pelt is considering bending the rules a bit, just this once. Twilight Fade is in the Medicine Cat den, so he's with the Nightstalker. Right? Right, he's with the Nightstalker. And Cotton Shade can't find him, because he's in the Medicine Cat den. Pumpkin Tail regrets not eating the bird on the fresh kill pile earlier, but Pumpkin Tail feels like a character, honestly. Blue Jay had a nice chat with a Luna outside clan territory. Okay, so maybe Blue Jay actually found or came across one of the potential initiates that are like really desperate to become a vampire, but they have to join Initiate Clan first. Quiet Paw is stretching out, for once giving her mentor a bit of a break. And Light Kit is hatching a plan to sneak out of camp and play Light Kit. Let's not go outside the ruins where we have hunters who could possibly kill us. Let's try and at least make it to adulthood, and then you can explore all you want, or even apprenticehood. Then you can kind of start going out. But okay, that's all we have for the cat list, so let's go ahead and continue with patrols. Okay, let's resume with our patrols. We currently have 60 prey, we need 23.5, so we don't have to worry about hunting. Basically, the way I do patrols is I send out our Nightstalker first of all, and get them to gather their herbs, and then we randomize the patrols, and also randomize the type of patrol. And I try to send out as big of a patrol as I can, so we fill it out completely. We do a 6 if we can, and if there are extra cats, then they obviously go out on a smaller patrol. So our patrol sizes do vary, guys. They do vary. And the other thing, because we have random patrol types, we don't really focus on hunting unless we get a notice in events that says we don't have enough prey for the next moon. Then definitely for the following moon, or like that particular moon, we have to focus on hunting. All of our non-herb gathering patrols. So let's just go ahead and send out Honey Bloom, our Nightstalker, out into the night and see what she manages to grab. Worried about her stores of burdock and anticipating the plant's new leaf growth, Honey Bloom heads out to replenish the clan's stocks. Proceed. Luck is on Honey Bloom's side today. The burdock is both plentiful and easy to find. On the way back to camp, she even finds some freshly sprouted plantain to pick. Laying the fat roots out in a towering pile in the herb stores makes Honey Bloom's entire body thrum with a contented purr, even as she's still tucking the plantain leaves away in a shady spot. Also, we need to take a quick break because I just realized I forgot a whole bunch of important things. First off, diving into the clearing, I need to set my tactics. I always do nutrition first because it makes sense that the cats who need the food are the ones who get the food. And the other thing I forgot to do in the cat list, my goodness, is make a match, because we need to go ahead and have our litters, our kittens. I also didn't even do my settings. Ridiculous. So let's go ahead. We need to show XP nutrition status. We don't want medicine cats to be selected on patrol. Let's see, we want to show our moons and seasons widget. No, I don't want same-sex adoption. And I will allow romantic interactions with former mentors, because I don't play with adoption or anything like that. We are trying to breed up our own vampiric bloodlines. Let's see. And then over here, we need to disable experience-based apprentice graduation. Otherwise, things are going to be screwed up for us. I like all my fledglings to graduate at 12 moons. Okay, so that's what we have for settings, and I cannot believe I forgot to do a match, the most important thing that we need to do. So matches and mates are completely different. The cats can get into romantic relationships themselves, and they become mates, right? They chose each other, and hopefully they fall in love with each other. And then we have matches. Matches are official pairings made by the Grandmaster, the clan leader, for two cats that he wants to have, or the clan needs to have, a litter between. And those cats then have to go under the ruins to listen to the whispers from the whisper so that their relationship can be encouraged. Now, if a match breaks up, I will not force them back together. We'll just make a new pairing for the cats. So, Shivering Star, he is going to take on a mate for himself first off. I also have to go through and actually put down that each of the cats, they are like a founding bloodline. They're one of the founding vampires of the cats. Oh, the cats? The clan? What am I saying? Yeah, they're one of the founding vampires of the clan. I need to go do that. But Shivering Star, real quick, he is going... Oh, I also need to... Jeez, so many things to do. Usually, I also go ahead and prevent all the cats from having kids, except obviously for the cats who have a match made between them. They're the only ones who are allowed to have a kid, or a litter, I should say. And every cat is only allowed to have one litter, regardless of how big that litter is and whether or not that litter actually survives to adulthood. They only get the one litter. I'm so sorry, I was supposed to do all this off camera, but there's so many things to do, you kind of get a little bit distracted. So Shivering Star is going to take on a mate for himself. Oh, sorry, not a mate, my bad. He's going to take on a match, or make a match for himself. And he is going to make a match with Honeybloom, who he is not compatible with. She's cold and he is troublesome. But this is the Nightstalker, this is the cat that he's chosen to have a litter with. Now, they will have, obviously, like 2 bars of relationship right now, and that's them seriously considering each other and whether or not they want to have a litter. But we need to go ahead and have a whispering session with them. So let me go ahead, allow them to have their kits. There we go. Let's go to the whispering session and see if the whispers work. And yes, okay. So from what they're seeing, obviously Shivering Star and Honeybloom like the cats selected for them. I mean, Shivering Star chose this for himself, but they like each other as potential parents for their kittens. So things are progressing well, it seems. The whispers are working, influencing them quite wonderfully under the watchful eye of Burnleaf. So comfort, romance, respect has increased, dislike and jealousy has decreased. At this point, it is a formal match. When they fall in love, or when I start getting green bars, then I consider that a friendship. But when we have, obviously, the green bar on the romance line, we consider that as them falling in love. And when they do fall in love, then, the matches also become mates in a way. So it's a little bit, I suppose, complicated, and who knows, I might change my mind on the way I talk about matches and mates in the future. For now, though, this is kind of a dynamic that I enjoy. But for Shivering Star, maybe he looks at the coldness of Honeybloom and he thinks that this is a quality that would give him good, true vampiric children. And Honeybloom, maybe when she looks at Shivering Star as someone who's loyal to Shivering Star, she sees his troublesome nature as an opportunity for the vampires to strike out against the hunters, and she kind of admires that. So, there's something going on here. But it's going to be exciting to see later between the two of them. Now, just a reminder, so he's got yellow eyes, single color pelt, amber eyes, calico pelt, and the descriptor for them, so Shivering Star is a black tom, and Honeybloom is a light brown / ginger calico she-cat. I think they could have some really pretty kittens between the two of them. I get a Halloween vibe, So that's kind of cool. Okay, now that I have wrapped that up, I think we can safely resume with our patrols. But yeah, I got a bit sidetracked. Okay, so we are going to have a patrol of 6 and a patrol of 1. So first up we have Grandmaster Shivering Star, Pumpkin Tail, Hazel Pelt, Twilight Fade, Master Cotton Shade, and Quiet Paw. And Twilight Fade, I guess, is keeping his fledgling very close to himself. So let's see what they get up to. Shivering Star. Grandmaster Shivering Star wanders past an old badger set dug into the rocky hillside, only to freeze. There's a new scent here, acrid and sour. Proceed? Well, the only way to know is to check. Hazel Pelt scrambles into the den for a look, and it's only by the grace of StarClan that he's able to redirect that speed and twist around just as fast, furious fizzing, following him up the burrow tunnel, leaving behind clumps of his own fur. Okay, so thankfully survived that. And then we have Blue Jay. I really like Blue Jay just because of her name. She's got such a wonderful name. Let's see what she gets up to. While alone, she thinks about life. Is Blue Jay really headed where she wants to go? Is Blue Jay doing a good job of pursuing what's important to her? Proceed. Her thoughts are plagued with bad memories. Blue Jay decides that means what she's doing currently is clearly not working. She spends her time coming up with new solutions and returns to camp a little saddened, but also invigorated and ready to do better. I wonder if she was reflecting on everything that happened with her transforming into a vampire cat, and maybe the bad memories had to do with, the village they stumbled in on, the blood they were drinking, and how it started changing them, maybe the kittens they hunted afterwards, and the drastic things they did. So I could kind of see how these kind of, incidents from the recent past would be stalking kind of these cats, or haunting these cats, I should say. So okay, that is what we managed to get up to today, which I think was a really good starting off point for us. Let me know if you guys have any favorites among our current cast. I honestly am not sure. They're all so interesting and so cool. If I had to go by pelt, I would say Cotton Shade, because, here he is. Yeah, I would say Cotton Shade because the story with his pelt, the stains on it, the patterning, it just seems so cool and so fascinating to me, Master Cotton Shade. But name-wise, I love Blue Jay because I love Blue Jay's name. And then I love Shivering Star's name too, though, and the fact that he's this really cool-looking and scary-looking black cat. But then we also have the whole dynamic with Pumpkin Tail and, Pumpkin Tail and Twilight Fade and Quiet Paw. Like, they have that whole dynamic, and I just find it so funny and so interesting. So I'm not sure. I like all of these cats, and I'm actually glad I restarted because I like our current cast like a lot more than the cast we had beforehand. But okay, guys, what I'm gonna do is actually play off camera until I get my first pregnancy notice, and then we're gonna come back and take a look at how the clan is going. Obviously, if any relationships have changed, any friendships have formed, any rivalries have formed, that's all going to be very fun and exciting for us. Like, if anyone has an enemy in the clan, that would be pretty dramatic. But okay, guys, with that said and done, I'm going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.